Hello viewers, welcome to EduTube. In this lesson, we are going to learn addition and subtraction of unlike fractions. What are unlike fractions? Unlike fractions are fractions with different denominators. As we can see in this question, we will see that we have different denominators for all the fractions. Okay, so to add unlike fractions, the first thing you do is to give them a common denominator. How do we give them a common denominator? We do that by finding the LCM of the set of denominators in the fractions. So we are basically finding the LCM of 4, 8, and 3 to give them a common denominator. So I'll do that by the side here. So 4, 8, and 3. So now 2 can divide 4, I will have 2. 2 can divide 8, I will have 4. And 2 can divide 3. 2 cannot divide 3, so I'm going to bring down the 3. So then 2 can still divide. 2 can divide 2, I will have 1. 2 can divide 4, I will have 2. 2 cannot divide 3, so I'll still bring down the 3. So 2 can still go again. So we bring down just this one because we cannot divide 1 any further. So 2 can divide 2, we'll have 1. Then we'll bring down this 3 because 2 cannot divide 3. So I'll say 3, we'll just bring down 1, 1, and then 3 cannot divide 3, so I will have 1. So now that I have 1s in all of the set of numbers, I will now multiply my prime factors together, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and that will give me 24. Okay, so that means their common denominator now is 24. So I've given them a common denominator, but that's not all. So remember, we multiply the prime factors to get these common denominators. 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 80 times 3, and that gives us 24, which is the LCM of 4, 8, and 3, which equally is the common denominator for 4, 8, and 3 in this fraction. But that is not all, as I said. So the next thing we will now need to do is to use each denominator to divide the common denominator, and whatever quotient or answer that we get, we use it to multiply the numerator. So what do I mean by that? I will just basically say 4 in 24. How many 4 goes in 24? I will have 6. So I will say 3 times 6. Then the next number, which is 8, I will say how many 8 goes in 24? I will have 3. So I will say 1 times 3. And then I will say how many 3 goes in 24? I will also have 8. So I will say 2 times 8. So now let me multiply the numerator so that we can also have new set of numerators. So 3 times 6, that will give me 18. So I will write 18 plus, then 1 times 3, that will give me 3 plus 3, then plus again, then 2 times 8, that will give me 16, so I will have 16. Now I have new set of numerators, which is 18 plus 3 plus 16 with a common denominator of 24. So I can now restfully add the numerator. So 18 plus 3, that will give me 21. 21 plus 16, that will give me 37. So I'll write my numerators here, my added numerators. So I will have 37 out of the common denominator, which is 24. So 37 out of 24. So successfully I have added my fractions together, but it isn't over because we can see that this fraction is an improper fraction. The numerator is bigger than the denominator, and when you operate on fractions and then you have an improper fraction, it is obligatory that you convert the improper fractions to a mixed number. So to convert this to a mixed number, I'll basically say how many 24 goes in 37. That will just have only one whole number. So only one 24 can go in 37. Then what's the remainder? If I take away 24 from 37, I'll be left with 13. So one whole number remainder, 13 out of 24. So that means 24 in 37 is one whole number, 13 over 24, which is our final answer of the addition of these fractions. Now example number 2, we are doing subtraction. We are taking away 1 out of 3 from 9 out of 10. So we are doing 9 out of 10, take away 1 over 3. So again, for this also, because this is unlike fractions, we have to give them a common denominator, and to give them common denominator, we'll find the LCM of 10 and 3 without wasting any time further. LCM of 10 and 3 is basically 30. You can find out that by doing your LCM. So LCM of 10 and 3 is 30. So now the next thing now is to use each denominator to divide our common denominator, and whatever answer I get, I will use it to multiply my numerator. So doing that, I will say how many 10 goes in 30, and I will get only 3. So I will say 9 times 3. And then the next fraction, which is 1 over 3. So how many 3 goes in 30? I will have 10. So I'll basically say 1 times 10. Now let me express them out. 9 times 3, that gives me 27. So I will have 27, take away 1 times 10, take away what? 10. So 27 take away 10, I will have 17 out of, 30. So 17 out of 30, this is a proper fraction, and there is no common factor that can divide both 17 and 30 to simplify them further. So I will say this is our final answer for example number 2. Now example number 3, we have a mixed operation. We have both subtraction and addition together. So now to do this, we will see that the subtraction precedes the addition. So this will be inappropriate to do. So the first thing we will need to do is to rearrange the fractions so that addition comes before subtraction according to the rule of BODMAS. BODMAS. So according to rule of BODMAS, addition is supposed to come before subtraction. So we rearrange this fraction so that addition comes before what? Subtraction. So rearranging this number, this is the positive number. Positive number comes before negative. So I will have 7 out of 8. So because this is positive, and then 2 over 5 is also positive. So I will say plus 2 out of 5. Then the negative number will come last. Take away or minus 3 out of 4. So successfully I have arranged this fraction in order of operation. So I have addition coming before subtraction. Now I can find the LCM of 8, 5, and 4 so that I can give the fractions a common denominator. Now without wasting time, you could check at your end there. The LCM of 8, 5, and 4 will give us 40. LCM of 8, 5, and 4 is 40. You could check at your end there. So now that I have the common denominator, which is 40, the next thing I will do, just like example 1 and 2, is to use each denominator to divide the common denominator, and whatever answer I get, I'll use it to multiply the numerator. So to do that, I will say how many 8 goes in 40, and that will give me 5. So I will say 7 times 5. Then how many 5 goes in 40? That will give me 8. So I will say 2 times 8. And how many 4 goes in 40? That will give me 10. So I will say 3 times 10. So 7 times 5, that gives me 35. So I'm going to write 35. Then in between them I have plus. So I'm going to put plus. Then 2 times 8, that will give me 16. So plus 16. Then in between I have minus. So 3 times 10, I have 30. So that will give me 30. Now I have new set of numerators out of their common denominator. So now let me carry out this mixed operation. So 35 plus 16, that is going to give me 51. So 51 take away 30, I will be 51 take away 30. Let's take it bit by bit. So 35 plus 16, that will give me 51 minus 30 out of 40. So if I take away 30 from 51, I'll be left with 21 out of 40. Now looking at this fraction, we will see that it's the proper fraction and they have no common factor that can break them down further. So I could safely say that this is my final answer for example number 3, which is also our final example. So that is that about addition and subtraction of unlike fraction. Thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, please kindly click on the subscription button below this video to get notified of more academic lessons like this. And if you are a returning subscriber, we say a big thank you for your love and support always. I will see you in the next lesson.